charge. That's part of the tour. Alright, don't put money up, don't
Universal Studios Hollywood is converting the world-famous studio tour trams to become electric vehicles. As these trams roll out, guests will be experiencing all the movie action propelled.
And as y'all board the tram, make sure y'all are sliding all the way to the right, filling in all those available seats. And if there's any members of your party whose feet don't quite touch the bottom of the tram, I'll put them in the center of the row for their safety. And it looks like we're heading down to that lot to check the left and wave goodbye to all of our friends on the side. Bye, everybody. Now, 400 acres, that is quite a lot for me to cover on my own today. So I do got a co-host here with me that y'all may recognize from The Tonight Show. And that's my jam on NBC. Give it up, y'all, for Jimmy Fallon. Joseph, Ludwig, Joseph, that's right, y'all. They do got some safety personnel over. First, if y'all need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, or if y'all drop something of value off the side of the tram or have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red E-cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated and keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. We got a lot of productions that go on down on the lot, like Lopez vs. Lopez, starring George Lopez and his daughter Ryan Lopez. We've also got American Auto that films down on the lot, and even my co-host Jimmy Fallon films That's My Jam right down here in one of our sound stages.
They make movies.
And like I said, That's My Jam films right down here in one of our sound stages. But what exactly is a sound stage? Well, that's a giant warehouse-like building that's roughly 98% soundproof, and these days the vast majority of filmmaking happens inside of them. We're heading down to our front lot, which houses the vast majority of the 36 sound stages that we got right here at Universal Studios. In fact, that very first one is coming up on y'all's left-hand side, Soundstage 12. Soundstage 12 is the former home to The Voice, and that's why y'all are going to see the giant Voice logo on the side of it. But they film in a different soundstage on our lot that we'll see a little bit later. Our sound stages have also been home to NBC's Grand Cruise starring Nicole Byer, and also the Peacock streaming series Bel Air starring Jabari Banks and Adrian Holmes. Oh, actually, speaking of Bel Air, y'all, it looks like I got a couple of the stars here who want to say hey to everybody on the tram today.
You just gotta be aware when you get somewhere as you put egg on the cheese, on the cheese, no, it's gotta be a lot.
You're gonna get wet.
Probably fit the whole Bel Air cast and crew. Oh, we gotta get one of these for Mitch. And for sure, you're looking at y'all. The Dead Family Mansion lives right here on the Universal lot. Right. Some of Bel Air's most pivotal scenes have been filmed right here. Jabari, what have been your most memorable moments? I don't know. I mean, there's so many to choose from. You know, I love the 4-year set where Will first enters and I feel his life changes forever. What about you? Well, the Bel Air Academy gym set is here too, and I remember you had me sit in that cool ice bath for hours. Yeah, that was really fun. I couldn't feel my toes. No, but seriously, my favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together. Hair, wardrobe, makeup, set design, props, and transportation. Yes, transport is the best. And they have the sweetest rides for us to play with. Speaking of, if we're gonna get a ride like this, we better go talk to transport now and let these people get back to the tour. That sounds good. Too bad. Oh, not if I want the keys.
I don't have it that point.
And right over on y'all's left, y'all are going to see Soundstage 14, and you'll also see the big wide open space that we got right in front of it. Now that open space can be used for what we like to call a base camp for our productions. Base camps are just hub areas where we can have dressing rooms, wardrobe trailers, prop trucks, makeup trailers, even catering. All of those can be inside of a base camp. Now, since we can have base camp so close to Soundstage 14, that's really beneficial for filming. So if we need to have any makeup touch-ups done or switch into another costume for the next scene, we can do that real quick and get right back on to filming, so production doesn't have to get delayed at all or by too much. And while the front lot does have a lot of our sound stages, it's also got some of our sound and video editing facilities. Those facilities don't usually get used until filming is done though, just so that you can make sure all y'all scenes flow together nice and smooth, that you got all the music for your soundtrack and any sound effects y'all may need before you give your production out for audiences to enjoy. Now over on y'all's right, you'll see some more of our sound stages. These ones over here have been used for Based on a True Story, starring Kaylee Cuoco, who y'all may recognize from The Big Bang Theory. And they've also been used in the Peacock streaming series Killin' It, starring Craig Robinson. Now, we do work with a lot of celebrities here on the lot, both inside of and outside of our sound stages. So from time to time, we do tend to run into them on the tour. And speaking of stars, y'all, over on y'all's left is our first celebrity sighting. It's Ted, the teddy bear from the Ted films. He's giving us a big old toast because he's getting his own show on Peacock later this year. Now, just behind Ted, also on your left, those are our production bungalows. Back in the day, those bungalows were used as homes away from home for a lot of our stars, but these days, production companies just use them for pre-production. Pre-production is anything that happens before the camera starts rolling. That can include budgeting, getting all of the money together, writing and revising your scripts, and casting actors and actresses into their roles. We do have some production companies that currently call our bungalows home, like Mark Platt Productions, who's working on Wicked right now, which will be brought to us in November of 2024. We've also got Illumination Entertainment over here. They just recently brought us the Super Mario Brothers movie. And we've also got Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions right over here. They brought us films like Us and No. Now, while we do have a lot of production companies over here, we do also have, oh my goodness, I lost my train of thought. Hold on, y'all, it'll come back to me. Oh, I remember, okay. So we've had a lot of people over in our bungalows, but we've also had some very iconic directors over here like Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock brought us films like Psycho, Vertigo, and The Birds. And one thing that I love about Mr. Hitchcock's films is that he always has little cameos in the background of them, whether it's like his side profile as a silhouette or he just walks on by. I absolutely love that. Now, also over on y'all's left are the last two sound stages of our front lot before we head on over to the back lot. Now, these sound stages look a little bit different on this side because they got some more production offices for us. That way, if we need to make any script changes or revisions when filming's already started, well, you can make them and get the new script right on to our actors and our actresses. Now, while those are the last stop of the front lot, right next door to them is the first stop of our back lot, which houses a lot of our outdoor sets, like these ones that we call our Metropolitan sets. Our Metro sets are about 4 acres of our lot, and each part of it is a different part of a major city, any major city y'all want it to be. Our Metro sets have been used for American Ninja Warrior. They set up their route over here that they got their contestants running on through. And it's also been used in Blackpink's Jisoo's Flower music video. She filmed right over there on a street that we call New York Street. Now, while that street is called New York Street, it can still be any major city that y'all like it to be in the world. But my co-host Jimmy Fallon is no stranger to the Big Apple.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's got mugged over there? An old woman. Tough lady. It's my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. I'm walking here. It's cool, guys. I was just walking in. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
And This part of our metro sets that we're heading on through, we call London Square. And when we designed it, we had a more European architecture in mind. But y'all can still make it anywhere you like to in the world. London Square has been used as India in the Mindy project. And a lot of our buildings over here in the metro area are what we like to call facades. That just means inside of a lot of these buildings, well, there ain't really anything in there. We can only film on the outsides of them. So any interiors for these buildings would be built right next door in some of our sound stages. And with a little bit of editing when filming is done, we can make it look like a character is walking right on into the inside through the doors. Now, a lot of these buildings also use what we call forced perspective to make them look a little bit bigger than they actually are. So as we drive on by, take a look at the windows. The higher up on the buildings you go, the smaller the windows get, and that's how we're able to make them look a little bit bigger on camera. Now, since our metro sets are only about 4 acres of our lot, and most major cities are larger than 4 acres, we do have to extend our city streets out using some lovely digital effects, like blue screens and green screens when filming is done, just so that we can have the rest of our city streets here. Now, we can also use digital effects in a lot of our films and TV shows to not only stretch out city streets, but also flesh out the rest of our sets, make them look a little bit more detailed for us. A lot of these sets up on y'all's screens, we're able to use a combination of real sets like the Metro ones and digital effects to flesh them out and make them look all detailed and pretty for us.
Fresh.
This scene right here from Changeling filmed right over here in our metro sets and was able to use that digital effect to stretch out the city and make it look like it continues going on and on. Now, as much as I love our concrete jungle, I think it's about time for us to leave it behind, to grab a vine and swing on up and over into the real jungle.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
That's right, y'all. As we await our return back over to Skull Island, please make sure to stay seated and hold on to all of your belongings.
The Universal tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife of Skull Island. In a sense, this is like a mini sequel, a mini continuation. We're just taking the Kong and Skull Island and the dinosaurs that we established in our feature film.
Kong was brought to us here at Universal Studios by Peter Jackson and the incredible team over at WeThemePark. Now, WeThemePark is quite a lot to celebrate, y'all. They recently won another Academy Award for their work on Avatar, The Way of Water. WeThemePark are now the proud owners of 7 Bright and Shining Academy Awards. And up on y'all's screens, y'all are going to see the room right there where we return back to Skull Island. Both the screens on the left and right of us were 40 feet tall and 180 feet long. The team at WeThemePark had to use some pretty advanced technology and 16 projectors to bring King Kong to life.
The audience is in the middle of the environment. So they're looking in all directions. There's creatures swimming at them. They're seeing Kong on the side. And T-Rexes from the other side. Working on a movie. No one's the one. The shot to go working on. You have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this world, unlike movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts. Because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where it came from. This ring represents the
film Transformers. Now, with our gyrosphere from Jurassic World, though, y'all may have noticed it was missing that glass shell that it had around it in the film. And that's because it never actually had it to begin with. We added that glass in using computer-generated imagery, or CGI, when production had finished. Because if we'd used actual glass while we were filming, y'all would have been able to see the reflection of the entire crew, taking y'all out of that lovely dino magic. Oh, and actually, speaking of dinos, y'all, it looks like my friend John Hammond is here with a message for everybody. Hold on.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Oh, thank you for the warm welcome, Mr. Hammond. He's such a sweetheart, y'all. But he's right, though. Welcome to Jurassic Park. All these props and vehicles on y'all's left and right-hand sides were used in Steven Spielberg's original trilogy of Jurassic Park films. Over on y'all's left, you got the mobile lab unit from the Lost World Jurassic Park. And while it may look like that mobile lab unit is made out of metal, it's not. It's just made out of plywood. We painted it to look all metallic and rusty for the football and the tram, but they might pop up to say hi for a little bit. They're real friendly. They don't bite, I promise. Now, this big one on the left, though, is actually my pet. I feed him real well. Today, at least. He was in this morning. Now, that mobile lab unit that y'all saw also had a very intense scene in the Lost World Jurassic Park.
You know why they do that? It's to blind you, so they you haven't seen the movies? The movie, they did that to blind the audience.
Now, this scene showcases something that the Jurassic Park films do very well, and that's utilize rain to make their scenes more intense and scary for us. Now, we're actually able to demonstrate for y'all how we can bring weather effects like rain into some of your favorite TV shows and films right over here in Old Mexico. Now, you may start to hear some thunder and see some lightning going on. The thunder here in Old Mexico is coming from a speaker system, but during normal production, that sound is actually added in when filming is done, just because it can be a little loud and overtake our actors and actresses' lines. We want to make sure we can still hear that. But all the rain right there and the lightning would be there on set with our actors and actresses. The rain is just coming from a sprinkler system that's on the tops of the building, and the lightning is just a strobe light also on the tops of the building. Now the sprinkler system is up there just so that all that water falls down all know Paul Giamatti's were harmed in the making of Big Fat Liar. That was his stunt double, a trained professional, took the fall from all that water for him. As we get washed out of Old Mexico, we're actually heading down over into my home away from home, our 6 Points Western sets. Now, I'm a sweet old little Southern belle at heart, so I feel right at home over here in 6 Points. Back during the Western Golden Age, a lot of our Western TV shows and productions filmed right over here in 6 Points. But don't worry, even though that Golden Age is over, we do still get tons of productions that want to film here. Just recently, we had Quantum Leap starring Raymond Lee filming in 6 Points. And we've also had director Quentin Tarantino's film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt film over here. A lot of our sets in 6 Points are some more of them lovely facades, just like the ones we got over in the Metro sets. So if y'all look through these windows, you'll be able to see straight through to the scaffolding or the pillars holding them on up. You may also see a little bit of electrical equipment back there as well, just so that when we do have a production over here in 6 Points, they can have some power to film. Now, back in the Western Golden Age, we did have a lot of Western stars walking through these streets over here. In fact, 6 Points was bigger back then. We had so much of 6 Points that you could actually have 6 different productions going on in the silent film era, because each point of it had like everything you need in a town, and that's where 6 Points got its name. Now, as we start to mosey on out, though, our tour is now approximately at the halfway mark, so I just want to remind y'all to stay seated during the entire tour. This studio is private property, so just remember, y'all, if you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull that red cord to get my attention, and I'll be back to assist you, but please remain seated at all times on the tram. Now, back here on the back lot, we do got some more sound stages, and they're actually some of the newest ones that we got here on the lot. And they're where The Voice films at. They just wrapped up their 23rd season though, so they're not filming right now. And while those are the newest sound stages, the back lot is also home to some of our more older and historic filming locations, like the lake over on y'all's left. That was the primary filming location for the 1954 3D film, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, we do got another location back here on the back lot where a lot of our monster movies also filmed at, and that's Little Europe. Now, Little Europe was very popular for our monster movies between the 1920s and the 1950s. Many of those films like Dracula, Frankenstein, and The Wolfman, to name a couple of them, filmed right over here. Little Europe can be anywhere y'all like to in the world. You can change around languages on the signs to be in different countries. And you can also change around the light fixtures here to be in different time periods, since some time periods didn't have electricity like we do today. Little Europe has been used as Wales in The Wolfman, but it's also been used as the country of Genovia in Disney's The Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement, starring Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews. And it's also been used as the afterlife in The Good Place, starring Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead. This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
And while the bad place doesn't sound too awesome, what is pretty awesome though is that our monster movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, starring Lon Chaney, is actually celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. Now, one of our monsters was almost a little bit different than it ended up being though, and that was Frankenstein. The role of the monster was initially offered over to Bela Lugosi, who played Dracula, but Mr. Lugosi wasn't too fond of the role. He thought any extra could play it since it didn't really talk or have any lines. But he still agreed to do what we like to call a makeup test for the character. That just means we got him all dolled up in that heavy Frankenstein makeup, filmed it a little bit so we could get an idea of what that looks like on camera. So once we showed off that makeup test to the director, producer, and other members of the crew, and instead of being afraid of him like he thought they were going to be, they all ended up laughing at him. They thought he looked real funny, and that was the last straw for Mr. Lugosi, and he ended up dropping the role. But, like he said, any extra could play it, and we did have an extra right here on the lot who was more than happy to take the role up with open arms, Boris Karloff. Now, over the years, our monsters have been very influential for many directors, producers, and actors and actresses.
When we think of Universal, we think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein,
The Mummy.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
The Invisible Man,
Phantom of the Opera.
classic films are just brilliantly made.
That Frankenstein image.
Flathead, balls.
It's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. I was just mesmerized by these movies. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now, and we love them.
That's right, we do love our monsters here at Universal Studios, and that love hasn't changed at all. We've still been creating many terrifying monsters to scare y'all in theaters. Now, while a lot of our older monster movies did film over in Little Europe, a lot of them were also able to utilize our sound stages for some of their sets and for some of their scenes. Like in Dracula, Dracula's castle was built inside of Soundstage 12, that very first one that we saw on our tour today. And speaking of inside a soundstage, y'all, it looks like Ludwig was able to get us a little invitation over into Soundstage 50, one of our more unique sound stages that we got on the lot. So as we pull on inside, make sure to stay seated and hold on to all of your belongings. It's not every day that we get invited inside of a soundstage, especially Soundstage 50. Now, what makes it so unique in here is that the inside of it don't really change too much. It'll always and forever be a lovely little subway system right here. But y'all can still change the location of it around. You can change around any welcome signs that are here, and also the route maps. You want to make sure all the stops on that map stay accurate with the location that y'all are wanting to replicate over here inside of the soundstage. You can also change the exit signs for the streets. You want to make sure the street names are also accurate as well. And it was also featured in an episode of the TV show Bones. That earthquake, I think we all deserve a nice relaxing vacation over to the beach. And lucky for us, we got Amity Island right over here on the back lot. Now, Amity Island did have a shark problem, but they were able to catch that shark. And we got the police doing one final sweep of the water for us all before we start diving on in there. Now, I don't mean to brag, but when I was in high school, I was on the swim team. So I'm real good at all those little techniques. Now, y'all see the fin too, right? Uh-oh, that's Dabber George. Y'all, I don't think George sees the shark. George, honey, just kick it with your flipper. It'll swim right away. I promise I ain't never lied to you before. Except for today. Y'all, he's got a lot of guts being out there. I don't have the same, so let's get on over to safety behind these flammable gasoline barrels. Right, make sure to stay seated and hold on, y'all. Our shark does work very well, but for director Steven Spielberg and the rest of the cast and crew that worked on the film Jaws, they weren't as lucky and they had a very difficult shark that they had to work with.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work probably at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, "The shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working."
We just waited around. We just waited.
The shark, well enough for a while there. That's why we know the shark a lot.
And up on y'all screens is director Steven Spielberg getting a nice little picture with that shark. All the technical issues that shark had did cost the film quite a lot. Jaws ended up costing 3 times its initial budget, and it also got delayed by a few months as well, causing it to release during the summertime. But that delay ended up working in their favor as Jaws became one of the very first summer blockbusters. Now just outside of Amity Island, over on y'all's left, y'all are going to see the entrance to Elm Street. Now, there ain't no nightmares that happen on that one, but the tan house with the green roof over there did belong to Boo Radley from To Kill a Mockingbird. And right across from Elm Street on your right, we got our chicken ranch. Our chicken ranch has been used in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton. And it's also what we call a practical set, meaning while we're able to film outside of it like a facade, we're able to film inside of our chicken ranch, unlike a facade. And with our chicken ranch, we're actually able to utilize both the first floor downstairs as well as upstairs for filming. Now on the back lot, we do got some more practical sets over here down over on Colonial Street, which is one of our more popular filming locations. The entrance to it is over on y'all's left. And what makes it so popular is that it's your average everyday suburb. A lot of productions prefer to film over there just because we don't have any residences that live on Colonial Street, so they can be as loud as they want to, filming and moving on in without having to disrupt anybody. Colonial Street is most notable though for being used as Wisteria Lane in ABC's Desperate Housewives, and it's also more recently been used in Netflix's Never Have I Ever, written by Mindy Kaling. And as we leave those suburbs behind, we are approximately 15 minutes from the end of the tour, and we'll be returning to the theme park shortly. So just remember, y'all, pull that emergency cord if you need any assistance, and please remain seated at all times on the trail. Now, like I said, we are no stranger to having cars and vehicles in our TV shows and films. In fact, we got so many of them that we just got to share some more with y'all back here on the back lot. Now, my friend Bumblebee from the Transformer films loves to hang out over here just because he can get a nice little tan from the sun, and he can stretch out whenever he wants to. He's got some more room back here on the back lot. And just behind Bumblebee, we also have the green Mini Cooper from Mr. Bean's Holiday. Now, we do also have a Fast and Furious vehicle over here from Furious 7 as well. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm also getting just a little bit sleepy, okay? So, Ludwin, is it okay to go to the motel next door and take a little pit stop? All right, sounds good. So, Ludwin is going to take us over to the motel next door. What was the name of it, though? Oh, right, the Bates Motel. I stay in so many motels I never remember. Now, they got 12 cabins and 12 vacancies over here at the Bates Motel, so I'm sure they got enough room for us. I mean, I think all their rooms are double queen beds, so I think we'll fit. I mean, 100-something divided by 24, I mean, I think that's fine. Oh, and that man out there, y'all, that's actually Norman Bates. He is the manager of the Bates Motel. And he does such a good job at taking care of it, y'all. Even though nobody stays here, he always makes sure it's all cleaned and ready to go. You know, he pays real close attention to detail. Oh, y'all know what? He actually might have just had somebody staying in that first cabin. So he's just getting it all tidied up for us, ready to go. Well, that is just precious, everybody. He'll bring us right back onto the tram after our stay. Hey, Norman, baby, how you doing? Oh, you don't want to talk right now. I understand. He's a busy man. Are y'all okay back there in car 4? I ain't gonna lie, I was a little worried. I thought I was gonna lose somebody else today. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I didn't. At least I don't think I did. Now, coming up on y'all's left is gonna be our Psycho house where Norman and his mother live at. And during filming for Psycho, that was one of our most impressive sets. But right behind it, we got another very impressive set from director Steven Spielberg and production designer Rick Carter's film, War of the Worlds.
All designed to build the vision of the studio. You sit here, you sit down and talk right in the big mirror. Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Got them closed? Robbie, get in.
I've seen this one. What's that noise?
And that airplane over on y'all's left is a real 747 Boeing aircraft. Steven Spielberg wanted the scene to be as realistic as possible, so he found that one decommissioned, collected dust over in an aircraft graveyard in the Mojave Desert, purchased it for about $60,000, had it divided up into 4 parts, and shipped to us here at Universal Studios on flatbed trucks. Now, over the years, we have had the opportunity to work with many incredible directors on their films, and more recently, we had the honor to work with Jordan Peele on his film Nope. Now, we're heading over to the actual Jupiter's Claim sets from the film, and here to tell y'all more about it is my friend Jordan Peele himself.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible mission and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupe Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? What? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, rush frontier town, lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center. Welcome to the world of no.
Be about time for us to get out of those Nope sets. Y'all get it, because those are the other two Jordan Peele films us, and I do apologize, y'all. That joke sounded a lot better in my head. Now, we talked a lot about how your favorite TV shows and films are made. Now I think y'all are ready to have your big acting debuts. So here's a little bit of backstory for your character. Somebody on this tram has been a witness to an international crime, and Owen Shaw is after us, okay? Now, our friends Dom Toretto and the rest of the Fast and Furious family, they ain't gonna let them get us. They're gonna keep us all safe. Now, we do actually got 3 scenes that we're gonna film here today for y'all. We got this first one that we're about to head on into. We're still waiting for some of your co-stars to finish up in hair and makeup right now. So we got that one, then we got a big dance party in the next one, and then the grand finale right over at the end. Now, just a reminder, y'all, once we start pulling on... Ooh, that is not the right thing. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm sorry, y'all. There we go, that's what I wanted to say. Just a reminder, y'all, when we start heading on over in the set, make sure to stay seated and hold on to all of those lovely belongings. Now, when we do head on in, y'all will also see a lot of the props and picture cards that we have set up over here for y'all, just to help you get a little bit more into your character. Alrighty, y'all. Oh, and it actually looks like y'all's co-stars are ready for that very first scene. Alrighty, y'all. Good luck. Have fun.
You just got here. Alright, I got it. Well, listen, I'm on beautiful people. Take a minute here, right? It's in the 3rd row. How you doing? My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you Shaw for a while. Brought you in our secret spot. We're having a few friends over. It's a little messy, but it's all good. The more the merrier. Especially you right there in that 3rd row, like I was saying. So look, see over there? That's Hobbs' urban assault vehicle. Best truck the U.S. government can buy. That work of art back over there was made by my man Tej. Think of it as like a Mona Lisa on wheels.
So did you break it down to them?
What's that?
You had one job to do, Roman. One. Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
So like I was saying, the 3rd row, right? You're saying how much?
Somebody out there ran and pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family protects you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle. Oh, yeah. It was on vibrate. Sure, text us. I just came home forever. Buddy, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle. It's about to get real interesting. Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Woman, grab your truck. I need you and Levin ready to roll.
The great finale. Go ahead and put on those 3D glasses so we can look all cool and stylish for your final scene.
This is our turn. Okay, guys, it's showtime. I got the move by the horn. I will move it.
Sure to check out the Fast 10 posters when y'all exit the tram and scan the QR code for a special ticket offer courtesy of Fandango and see Fast 10 in theaters now. But that's it, my friends. Our tour is officially come to an end, and I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining us here today on the world famous Universal Studio Tour. Alrighty on, as we start to head on over to our unloading area, on behalf of myself, your tour guide Joseph, and our incredible driver Ludwig, give it up for Ludwig, y'all! Woo! We hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. got any questions or just want to say, hey, I'll be standing by the studio directory over on the left. And it looks like our studio tour ambassador team, they unload us around this one that we got on the left.